Welcome to the Museum of Aquarium and Pet History. Today we have 5 unboxings in 5 minutes. So I've got my trusty ninja knife. Got to get started. Okay, the first one is a Penn-Plax ornament. These are incredibly collectible today. There's 3 different versions of the boxed ones. This is called the jewel box. The ones with the blue on the top, that's the rarest ones. Then they have a yellow on the top, and then they have just a decoration on the top. This is the oldest one, the blue top, and this is one of their cannons that we recently got off eBay. Pretty cool, very collectible. The toy collectors have now discovered these, so now you're bidding against toy collectors as well. But originally we didn't want to collect these for the museum, but then we found so many people thinking these were so interesting because they grew up in the 1960s when these were really prevalent, that we decided we'd get a collection of them. With the coolest ones being the surfing mermaid, or the rarest, which is the Penn-Plax monster from the Black Lagoon. That's the rarest one of all. Okay, that's the mermaids, or that's the Penn-Plax. All right. Okay, this is Sergeant's eyewash. The box is a little bit torn. As you can see, it's torn at the top, and you could see there's the bottle of Sergeant's eyewash. And Sergeant's is a dog company. Started out as the Polk Miller Company. That was the founder. Then he changed the name to Sergeant's, named after his German Shepherd. So it's named after his dog. It's had a few owners. Today it's owned by Pet IQ, big corporate company. They no longer make stuff like this. They predominantly make flea collars and dog shampoo. But back in the day, they made a whole line of dog remedies. And this actually goes back even further. The eyewash goes back to the 1800s. We used to have in the museum, we had a Dr. Daniels in a blue bottle, and it had a cork on it. So it was really rare, probably late 1800s to the turn of the 20th century. But this is really interesting. This is dog medicines, and that is eyewash. Okay. All right, this is really cool. It's a very damaged metal tin, and it says Angus Worm Balls, and it's the most certain cure for worms in dogs, made by the Angus Dog and Cattle Medicine Company in Edinburgh, England. The English, back in the late 1800s, first part of the 20th century, had these metal containers for their dog medicines and dog products. When I saw this, it came up for sale. Even though it's in really rough shape, I'm going to give it to my artist friend, and she could actually just barely touch it up a little bit to make it a little more appealing. But these are really rare, anything that's metal like that. And one of them that we have in the museum is dog soap. And this is also from England, and this is Garstin's Tonic dog soap. They actually, when they washed dogs back in the late 1800s, they used soap, dog soap. They still make it today. Even on Etsy, you can find all kinds of people that make their own version of dog soap. So this has been around over 100 years, and this is probably over 100 years old. And here's another Sergeant's from probably the 1940s, 1950s, a Skin Balm. So that we're going to put that right next to there. And that's, now if this was older, if this was like Sergeant's from 1920s, 1930s, it would actually have a cork in it. It wouldn't have a screw top like that. And it would have a much more decorative kind of a label. But again, Sergeant's has been in business since 1868. And it was originally, again, the Polk Miller Company. And changed his name to Sergeant's after his dog, which is very cool. And Sergeant's Flea and Tick Spray. And you don't see these anymore. I don't put that, and that's probably 1960s right there. All this is a magazine, Colonial Homes, but bird cages through the ages. So when we do research, we try to find magazines that might have birdcage articles, especially when it's, you know, this is 15, 20, 35, 38 years old. So again, this is what we use for research on many things, is even to find magazines like this, because this wouldn't even appear on the internet. You know, I doubt Colonial Homes, which is probably out of business, wouldn't have this kind of information on the internet. So we do get these so we can find more information about bird cages. All right, so that's it. Be sure to stay tuned for the 5-minute videos that come up every week on Wednesday, and I will see you next week.